Hey Tim!
Hey.
Welcome! Come in!
Thank you. Today we've got a really special guest, Dani, and I'm actually a guest in her beautiful home, thank you. And she's going to be showing us how to make her family's traditional Christmas treat, Baklawa. Did I say it correctly?
Baklawa, which is actually a recipe that I grew up watching my sister make, and she actually learnt it from her grandmother. So we're going to make that today and see if we can do the recipe justice.
I hope so. Let's go. So I'm already loving that there's so few ingredients here. So we've got some walnuts, some filo pastry, some sugar, a lemon, and some butter. Is that it?
That's it.
So Dani, we're just making a simple sugar syrup here. So you've got some sugar, some lemon, and some water, and that's it. And the lemon's to flavour it, right?
Yeah, little secret ingredient, the lemon.
You know, this is your grandmother's recipe. Would she ever permit like rose water or orange blossom or anything like that? Any variations?
Look, hard no, but with that said, absolutely can use things like rose water. So now we'll turn the stove on and put it on a low heat because our ingredients are all ready to go. Water can go in before the lemon, so we'll just add that in. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then what we'll do is just stir it all together until it's combined, and we just want to bring that to a simmer and start to see some bubbles. Is that on?
Yeah, it is on.
Oh my God, I knew that was going to happen. So now we can just turn the heat low and just let it simmer. And just check it every now and then to make sure that we've got it to the right thickness.
And that it doesn't turn to toffee, right?
And we do not want toffee. Another little trick as well that my sister used to do when she would make it is touch the back of the spoon and you can feel the stickiness.
Okay.
You can hear that it's sticky, which is good. So we're going to move on to the next step. We are going to prepare our filling. We've got walnuts and sugar.
Perfect. And are walnuts the only thing that are, I guess, traditionally used in this recipe, or could you use other nuts?
So my family's village had walnuts that were quite readily available. Other nuts that you could use are cashews, or even pistachios as well is quite a common one.
So we're using a food processor, but what would have traditionally been used in this?
My great grandmother, and I guess anyone who was making this type of recipe in the village at the time, would have had a huge mortar and pestle sized version that would have been about this big.
And I guess if you don't have a giant mortar and pestle and you also don't have a food processor, you could just roughly chop them, like however you can get them fine enough, right?
Absolutely.
And the sugar. The nut mixture is all ready, the texture looks great, and you've approved it, most importantly. And we've also preheated the oven to 180 degrees fan force, and we did pop that sugar syrup into the fridge. So we're on to the next step.
We are, so it's time to do the assembly part. First thing we are going to do is butter our first sheet of filo pastry. So what we want to do is tap our brush into the butter, which is melted, and then you literally want to paint every piece of your filo pastry and make sure it is all covered.
What does this recipe, I guess, mean to your grandmother?
Like every Christmas, Sita would do a big batch of desserts. So Baklawa would be one of them. She would also make things like almond bread and Christmas cake. And she would do it because she would put little gift packages together for all of her dearest friends, who were people who she met in Australia. So people who became her lifelong friends. How are we going over there?
I think okay.
Not bad, not bad. Now we're going to put our filling onto the pastry. What we will typically do is get 3 spoons, and we want to evenly put it at the bottom of the pastry. We don't want it too close to the edges as well, because when we roll it, it'll fall out. Okay, so each time you roll it over, you just want to ensure that it's really tight all the way. And if parts of the filling fall out to the side, that is totally fine. And then right before you close it off, you actually want to leave perhaps like 1 centimetre, and you want to apply a little bit more butter just so we can seal the deal. So we've just finished rolling and we've given it one last butter on top of all of the rolls. Now it is freezer time. Let's go. Okay, so we've just come out of the freezer. So they've been in there for about 5 or 10 minutes. You just want to make sure that they're really firm, so that way it's a lot easier for you to cut. The thicker the knife, the easier it is to cut through the rolls, and you want to cut on an angle as well. So these are now ready for the oven, and what we're going to do is pop those in there for up to 35 minutes.
These look so great already.
They look amazing. That color is golden and crispy, and that's exactly how we need it. After the oven, we need to make sure we get that syrup that's been cooling right onto that hot baklawa. I think syrup is done. They look good.
And I love how these pieces are just so bite-sized. Like this would make the perfect edible gift for Christmas. All that's left to do is just wait maybe a little bit for this to cool down, soak up that syrup, but we're definitely going to be back for a taste test, right?
Yes, we will be back. Sitha,
Aina.
this is Tam, and we've actually made your recipe of baklawa. Have a taste?
What now?
Yep, yep.
Oh, yummy, yummy.
I'm so nervous.
Beautiful.
That's a good sign. She's finished it, so.
I made it.
You used to make it, but we made these ones today.
Good girl.